Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before. It means a lot to me. So today I want to do a video on which goddess is ready to work with you, which goddess is ready to connect with you, which goddess has a message for you, if you will. I just did the shadow self video about a day ago, I think. And you know, it was a heavy one, so I wanted to kind of cut that up and bring something a little bit more lighthearted to the table. So we're going to be looking at which goddess wants to work with you, wants to connect with you, and what message does that goddess have for you. As a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. So if something doesn't feel right to you, if something doesn't feel like it's resonating with you, that's perfectly okay. Take what resonates, again, leave the rest behind. So take a few minutes to ground and center yourself and ask yourself which pile or piles has a message for you. And pile number 1 is going to be this rose quartz flower. Pile number 2 is the Celestite, which is quite a pretty one. And pile number 3 is the Amethyst Flower. Pause the video if you need to, and let's get started. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you chose the rose quartz flower, I guess, petal. I think it's a flower. So we're going to be looking at which goddess wants to work with you, and we're going to start with the oracle cards today. So we're going to start with the 2 goddesses, follow it up with all of these cards here, including some tarot. So let's take a look at who we have here. Green Terra, your circumstances are shifting. You are protected. Begin to loosen your grip on fears and worries. So for some of you, it's Green Terra here. And we also have, if we can get this to focus, it's Bridget with follow your passions and urges. Very interesting. These are 2 very well-known goddesses, 2 of my favorites. So for some of you, it's going to be Green Terra. For others of you, it's going to be Bridget. I'm also getting Aphrodite, for some reason, is coming in strongly for me. I know that card is not necessarily here, but that is a message that I am getting for some of you. So take that as it resonates. Green Terra is definitely known for protection. She is known for surrender as well. With Bridget being a triple goddess, so she has the maiden, mother, and crone aspects to her, and she's very good when it comes to manifesting, and she is from the Celtic traditions, I am pretty sure. But let's take a look here and see what else we have. So we have abundance. Okay. The Fool. This is all already matching up. The Universe. Queen of Swords. And 5 of Pentacles. Let's see how we're going to set these up. All right, that works. Okay, so pile number 1. We have 2 goddesses. One is inspiration, the other one is protection, and we're kind of seeing that in the cards. There's something here that's ready to be created for my pile number 1s. There's something here that you're ready to embark on that is going to bring a good amount of abundance to your life. I'm going to be honest. For a lot of you, this feels more like spiritual abundance. And for others of you, this could be, monetary, though I don't necessarily feel that's going to be the case for most of you. I feel like this is more spiritual abundance for a lot of you, kind of that feeling of, feeling at peace, feeling like you can be yourself, feeling like you are exactly where you are meant to be, feeling like you are in connection with higher self. Sorry, pile number 1. Um, so as I was saying, this to me feels mostly internal, like very much internal changes that, of course, whenever we have internal spiritual changes, they start to show up in our outer world. But this does feel like it's going to begin very internal. And it feels like, both of these goddesses, because I do think for some of you it's about working with both. It's about working with Green Terra for the protection, for the for grounding, centering, compassion, but also working with Bridget for the inspiration, for the follow through, for to get in touch with the passions and the urges that are coming up. Because I do feel for some of you, you're kind of going from this Queen of Swords energy where you're very observant, where you're more, and you're going to be more connected to your passions, to the things that you want to create. For some of you, there's some sort of creative project, which could have to do with some sort of writing, some sort, poetry is coming in for some reason, music, but something creative that you're going to be giving birth to. And both of these goddesses are also helping you with the ending of a cycle, with closing out a cycle where you did not feel perhaps that you were able to get the things that you wanted, that you were not able to create the things that you wanted. Because we do have this Five of Pentacles here, and that is, all about feeling left out, feeling like you're kind of disconnected. For some of you, what is going to be happening is that you've been going through some sort of creative block, where you haven't been able to create, where you haven't been able to get in touch with your creativity, where, for example, if you are a writer, you've been going through a block where you haven't been able to kind of push past that energy, and kind of get into, a flow where you are able to bring projects to life. So for some of you, that is what's ending, that disconnect from self, disconnect from your own creativity and from your own ability to bring something, birth something, if you will. And, for many of you, you are reconnecting to your emotions. You are reconnecting. It's almost like you're going from a place where everything is colorless and gray and, dull. And you're kind of bringing the colors back into your life. You're bringing more emotions, more feelings. Again, there's some sort of disconnect here that's coming to a close. And especially Bridget will be helping with that. And I do see for many of you, the aspect of Bridget that you will be connecting to is the maiden. That younger aspect of her, that maiden aspect of her, where she is, at the younger, the full of life, the part of Bridget that's more ready to explore, that's open to exploration, if you will. Yeah, and we do have that Fool here. It's very interesting because we have the Fool and the Universe, which it represents the World card in traditional tarot. So there is that sense of something beginning, something closing, so that something new can begin. For some of you, I have to say it because we do have Bridget, and she is the Maiden Mother and Crone, and we have Green Terra. For some of you, this could even be about actually bringing a baby into this world. For one or two of you, this could be about adopting someone, but it could actually be about bringing new life into the world as well, in the literal sense. Because a lot of the times when we're talking about bringing something or giving birth to something, we talk about, it's more about the creativity and projects and ideas and all of that. But for this pile, it's very much very possible that there is a baby. So if it's something that, you've been wanting to work with a goddess to help with fertility, it could be Bridget Green Terra in this case for some of you. And I do believe I got Aphrodite at the beginning of this reading as well. Let's see what else we have here. Dragons, slay them all. Flower, be honest with yourself. And we do have the Queen of Swords here, which is all about honesty. So for some of you, it's about being honest with yourself and where you're headed and what you want. and being honest with where you are at in the process. There's a lot of shifts happening here. And for some of you, the goddess coming in, the goddess that's ready to connect with you is Green Tara and Bridget, and they're helping you move past the fear of trying something new, move past the fear of what if it doesn't work, move past the fear of judgment. For some of you, there's a lot of fear around being judged for what you are going to put out there. And then we have lavender. Surround yourself with love. And with that lavender there, make sure that you are soothing yourself. Make sure that you're taking breaks. Make sure that you're doing some self-care, because you were attracted to the rose gold, and we do have Green Tara there with, protection, with that reminder that you are protected, that all is well. So working with chamomile, lavender, rose quartz, clear quartz. I'm also getting smoky quartz for some of you. Herkimer diamond is coming in as well. Some of you could have been born in the year of the dragon. But you're being asked to really be honest with yourself and, the things that you want and where you are in the process. And for some of you, it's also about being honest with where you hold back due to fear. Leadership. I am a beacon of radiance, support, and love. And for many of you, you will be stepping into leadership. This is what these two goddesses are here to help you with. And again, I'm getting Aphrodite as well. Abundance. All my needs are met above and beyond my greatest expectations. There's definitely abundance here. And I believe, didn't we have... Look at this. I just noticed this. I don't see the cards before you do, but I just noticed abundance and abundance. So double the abundance here. And like I said at the beginning, I feel like for many of you, at first, this isn't going to be necessarily about monetary abundance. It's going to be so much more than that. Will it translate to monetary abundance? Of course. Because as above, so below, as within, so without. Peace. I breathe deeply, knowing that all is well in my universe. And this is exactly what's also, what Green Tara is helping with, right? That sense of I am protected, all is well. There is so much power in that, right? In being able to sit there and say, all is well, I am protected. I know I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. Let's take a look at the angel cards that we have. Service. Yeah, some of you are stepping into service. Some of you will be offering a service. For some of you, it's creative. For others of you, it could be spiritual. I do feel like some of you could be starting a business, but for some of you, it's even aligning yourself with a charity, a foundation that means a lot to you. Ascension. And these are Archangel Uriel cards. And Truth, Archangel Michael. Yeah, because we have be honest with yourself. We have Truth here. We have the Queen of Swords. This is about being honest with where you are at in the process, being honest with yourself of what you want. The fears that are coming up for you, who you are meant to be. For some of you, getting some sort of energy healing Reiki session would be very helpful. For others of you, working with the chakras, even if you can't get, Reiki can be done via distance. But even if you can't get like a Reiki session, working with your chakras on your own, clearing the energetic body so that you can make space. For some of you, there's almost spiritual debris that's stuck in your aura. And that's what's preventing the inspiration from coming in. And inspiration is calling to you. And it's time, my pile number ones, to really connect to what means something to you. And for some of you, this goes back to childhood, the things that you enjoyed, the things that you want to do, that you want to try. And sometimes the things that we want to try and that we're so hesitant about, there's something there. And the resistance is there because it's there for a reason, and it's the fear. right? Because it's easier to dream about something, to have hope that something is going to turn to something more than it is to actually try it and realize that it's not what we hoped for. I picked, let's go with these first. Vibras, which is vibrations, and feel to see, flowing, high vibration, music healing, dance, personal ceremony is needed. And what did I say? And we have the sevens here. Again, this is very spiritual. And I said that when I got the first two cards. It feels like this is going to be very internal, very spiritual, and then in turn it will start showing up in your outer world. But to begin with, it's very spiritual. And then we have vortex, astral travel, accessing portals, raising vibration, elevating our ancestors' lessons learned. Now, we have both of these cards speaking about vibration. And we have, what was this? Ascension here, which is also about, essentially the vibration, our vibration, how we are vibrating. For many of you, like I said, some sort of energy healing would be very helpful at this time. Some sort of clearing. You could do this on your own. For some of you, clearing your physical space, whether that is you're going to smudge, you are going to use some sort of spray. I actually use this little one right before I do my readings. Found it on Etsy from a local seller. But there is a need to kind of cleanse yourself and your space. And for many of you, it's clearing yourself as well. It's not so much about the environment, that's important as well, but it's also about the debris in your aura. Because it feels like there's some stuff that's kind of stuck in there. Like I feel like some gunky, almost, if you've watched Nickelodeon, what I'm picturing is like a black gunky like slime, like that green slime from Nickelodeon, but it's like brown and gunky and blackish and just nasty looking. And it feels like that's kind of just all over your aura, and it's kind of keeping you in a place of, it's keeping you stagnant in a way. But Green Terra coming in saying that you are protected and that she is watching over you. So if protection is something that you've been concerned about, working with Green Terra would be good. I picked these two animal cards. Blue Heron, make a stand for what you believe in and do what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. What did I say, pile number one? Some of you are afraid of being judged. Some of you are afraid of what are people going to think. And this is why you need to be honest with yourself and figure out what matters to you. Get to the truth of it. Cut through the illusions at this time. Taurus, you're too fragmented, so do whatever it takes to get grounded. And for some of you, you are feeling this energy because Green Terra coming in saying you are protected. There's a reason for that. Right? Whenever we see a message about protection, it's typically because we're not feeling very grounded, very comfortable where we are at. But this is a reminder to ground your energy. For some of you, spending time in nature, like just being able to sit and like touch, like put your hands in some soil. For others of you, a daily grounding practice would be very helpful. Some movement as well, because I think my pile number one, some of you are very stagnant even in your body. So some sort of daily stretching, moving. For some of you, there's a lot of almost fear, if you will, being withheld around the hips. And that kind of needs to be moved out of there. That needs to be, if you can do some stretching and kind of get things moving, that would be helpful. Let's see what we have with these two. So it says, what passion, I just realized that. Okay, so this is about like passions and purpose for this pile. What passion am I ready to pursue? And it says, your passions will continuously lead you to your purpose. What passions have you put to the side, given up on, or buried? What passion is ready to come alive in you? Today's soul action. Write a list of the passions to which you want to give life right now. Then journal how you can incorporate more of what you are passionate about into your daily life. Trust your soul's whispering and let your passions draw you towards your dream life. So I did see this part because obviously it's a 2-part card. I did not see those, so wow. Actually, let's do it that way. And then next we have, how can I infuse more self-love and compassion into my daily life? Green Tara is also about compassion. She's all about compassion. For some of you, compassion for self. Because some of you are really struggling with the idea of someone judging you or how you are going to be seen, perceived, or received. And this one says, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. And that is a quote from the Buddha. And today's soul action, choose one self-care action to do today. Set stronger boundaries, meditate and listen to your heart, speak to yourself with compassion, focus on your strengths, say no to something that isn't a soul yes, say yes to something you are afraid of, let go of what you cannot control, stay far away from drama and negativity, ask for help and allow it. Write down 3 things you are grateful for. I'm going to hold this up in case anyone wants to screenshot this. I have shaky hands. I'm sorry, pile number 1. I hope that helps. Let me know if you need me to write that in the comments, what that said. But absolutely, we have passion and compassion, and it's very, that kind of rhymed. And it's very interesting because compassion is all about Green Tara, and passions is all about Bridget. So this is kind of just coming together perfectly, and I love it when that happens. But ultimately, what can you do today and every day that's going to put you one step closer to the things that you are passionate about? And how can you take care of yourself? What self-care can you do for yourself? And this is a very good list to have. If you take one thing away from this reading, I would take that little 10 list. Let's see what we have here. Sagittarius IC. And we do have a lot of that energy of truth, right? The Queen of Swords, be honest with yourself. We had truth. I believe this was the truth card with Archangel Michael. And now we have Sagittarius IC. And we've talked about this illusion, this, the inability to see things clearly. And with Sagittarius here, continue to seek. Continue to open yourself up to the possibilities. Find your inspiration and follow it. Artemis can definitely be seen here because I'm kind of seeing that bow and arrow for Artemis. Moon, soul. Yeah, for many of you, this goddess is coming in to fully help you connect to your soul. Because for some of you, you've become a little bit disconnected. Mercury retrograde, reinvention. You are reinventing yourself, pile number 1. And this goddess is going to help you do so. For some of you, look at where your moon is at and any transits around your moon at this time. And also, I do believe some of this started with the last Mercury retrograde, and it was kind of set into motion. Because what is the Mercury retrograde about? It's giving us an opportunity to revisit things. And I think you were able to revisit some important feelings, because I feel like there is kind of this sense of there has to be more for this pile. Let's take a look at the blessings coming in. A blessing on your creativity. I swear, pile number 1, I do not see these before you do, but a blessing on your creativity, and you have Bridget. And that's basically what we've been talking about the whole time. A blessing of forgiveness, and I do feel like this is going to be forgiveness for self. And again, compassion and forgiveness, Green Tara, protection as well. And a blessing to bring clarity. And what did we say? Truth. Be honest with yourself. Being able to see things for what they are. moving stagnant energy so that things can pick up again. And for many of you, what's going to be picking up is your ability to take action, but also your ability to see things for what they are. And this is the last card we have. And this is my Goddess Tarot. And I asked what your goddess or goddesses, if you decide to work with both, what they want to work with you on. What do they want to accomplish? What's the goal here, if you will? Temptation. And this is the Devil card in traditional tarot. And I'm not even going to attempt this, but this is definitely also a goddess. So if you want to look this goddess up, if that is calling to you. But with temptation, devil energy, you are finding liberation. You are being liberated. This goddess is here to set you free. And I believe that that's why that protection is coming in, right? Green Terra saying you are protected. Don't worry. I got you. I got your back. I'm watching over you. And Bridget saying, let's go for it. Bridget, very closely related to fire, to the fire element. Some of you can definitely light a white, green, or red candle. Red, especially if you're working with Bridget, is what's coming in. Pink for Aphrodite, if that message resonated with you, because I did get her come in very strongly, but I don't feel like it's for the grand majority of you. All right, pile number 1, that is all I have for you. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post next. Let me know what you thought about this reading and if you have any suggestions for future ones. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you chose the Celestite. We're going to put that baby over there. As a reminder, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. So we're going to start a little bit differently today. We're going to start with the 2 goddess cards, and then we're going to pick the tarot and the rest of the oracle cards. So I did ask which goddesses were ready to work with you at this time. Let's see who we got. Anat, I believe that's how you say it. Don't come for me. Surrender, and it says, when I let go of the reins of control, I thrive. Beautiful message so far. And Ariadne, I don't know if I'm saying that right either. Untangling, and it says, I am patient with myself in the process of exploring the labyrinth of my mind. Very interesting. So we have 2 cards that are kind of speaking to very similar messages, kind of letting go, releasing control, being patient in the unknown. For some of you, you're kind of in this energy of a void, right? Of I can't necessarily see what's coming up next. I'm in. It's almost like you're in the woods, right? In the woods of your life, where you can't necessarily see what's right in front of you. You can't really turn back around to go behind, and you can't go back to the past, but you can't see what's to come. For some of you, things are not going the way that you want them to go. Things are not moving as quickly as you'd want them to. Things are not progressing, if you will. And there is a sense of impatience here. There's a sense of trying to figure things out, but not knowing exactly how to do that. Trying to trust in the universe and surrender to it. But for some of you, there's definitely doubts around, have I been forgotten? Has my team, my angels, my guides, my universe, source, God, whatever it is that you believe in, the goddess, are they even listening? Do they remember me? Do they know I'm struggling? And this is kind of coming in and saying, yes, we hear you, we see you, we are with you, even though you can't tell at this point in time. Because for some of you, there is this sense of almost feeling abandoned by spirit. Let's see what we have here with the tarot. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there's change coming. Pile number 2. Stability. And that is the 4 of Pentacles in traditional tarot. And Power, which is the 9 of Wands in traditional tarot. 5 of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot happening here. And 6 of Wands. All right, pile number 2. There's a lot of conflict here. There's a lot of unknowns. There is a sense of you are tired, you are exhausted. Some of you are very close to giving up on something. It's almost like I'm so tired, I just want to give up. But at the same time, you're not quite ready to release the reins, to let go of control. Because for my pile number 2s, you're used to having to be in control. You're used to having to make things happen for yourself. If I don't make things happen, who will? If I don't do this for myself, how can I trust that it's going to come in for me? For some of you, you could be a fire sign, Aries, Libra. I don't know why I was going to say Libra. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You could be a Libra. That came out. You could definitely be a Libra. Take that as it resonates. But there is this sense of internal struggle. For some of you, you've kind of reached the point, and I'm only kind of, remotely laughing here because been there, done that. You've kind of reached a point where you want to give up, where you want to not care anymore, but it's so hard. It's almost like part of you wants to say, you know what, screw it, I give up. Whatever, it is what it is, it's going to be what it's going to be. But the other part of you is also struggling because, again, you're someone who likes to take control. You're someone who likes to be in control. You're not used to just letting things happen when they may. You're used to manifesting through action. For many of you, you are more comfortable in the divine masculine energy, in your own divine masculine energy of taking action, making things happen. And this is kind of uncharted territory for some of you because things, no matter what you're doing, it's not working out in the way that you wanted to. You're trying to put down some roots, and life is kind of not allowing things to stick, if you will. It's almost like you're throwing things, waiting for something to stick, and not much is holding on, if you will. And you know what you want. You have a visual of what you want to accomplish and what you want to achieve. And again, it's not happening in the way that you'd like or in the time frame. But there is a message here that there are things moving, that things are happening even if you can't see them. That you will reach success. But there is a need to make sure that you're not giving up too soon. And by giving up, I mean completely saying I don't care anymore and moving away from this, because there is a need to surrender into this. There is a need to give up the control to this, but there's also a need to expect that it's going to come in as it's meant to. And this is going to be different things for different people. For many of you, I do feel like this may be more in the side of career, finances, stability, the home that you live in. Some of you could be trying to purchase a home at this time. For others of you, fewer of you, this could be about, attracting in a soulmate, whether that is platonic or romantic. Let's take a look at what the other cards have. Let's look at here at what we have. Purpose. Like I said, for it feels like for the majority, this is going to be more related to what you're here to create, whether it's a career, a job, finances. And we do have purpose here showing up with Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Michael with passion. Yeah, for some of you, you're trying to create something. I will say there is change coming. There is kind of movement coming in. I do feel for some of you, you're holding on to a vision so tightly. Like you know what it needs to look like, smell like, feel like, how it needs to show up. And what Spirit is saying and what both of these goddesses are coming in to help you realize is that there's something even better than what you can picture for yourself. There's something that is more in alignment with who you are, with your higher self, than what you can picture for yourself at this time. And that's why you have to release the reins a little bit, release the control a little bit. Trust in yourself as well, because you are strong and you can get yourself through just about anything. So you can trust yourself enough to release. For some of you, this is kind of a break that you're being given just to rest a little bit, because you have been working so hard. And this is Archangel Raphael with transience. I don't know why I could not think of Archangel Raphael's name there. But yeah, things are moving. Things are picking up speed. But there's a need to allow them to allow this to happen naturally. It's almost like the more you pull, the more the energy becomes stuck, if you will. It's like you're pulling to make things happen. You're pushing. You keep trying to manifest something. You keep trying to make it happen for yourself. And the more you do that, the more the energy is getting stuck. It's a push and pull that you're in right now. And that's why you're being asked to surrender and allow time for things to unfold, untangle themselves. Let's do these three. Raindrops. Take a chance on them. Raindrops, take a chance on them. That's interesting. That's not what I expected that to say. Sorry, pile number 2. Protest, start a revolution. Put that there. And castle, it's time for healing, not war. And what is war? War is typically action, right? War is that constant movement. And it's saying it's time for healing, not war. It's time to go within. Take that break. You are being given this downtime for a reason. Accept it. Let go a little bit. And take a chance on them. Take a chance on spirit, on the universe, on your goddess. Take a chance on yourself that you can relax and fall back. And take a break from all of this, and that things will still happen as they are meant to happen for you, because you deserve it, because you've already put in enough work. Because no matter what comes your way, pile number 2, you are powerful and you're able to work through it. And because you don't have to hold on so tightly. There's a sense of self-doubt here that makes you want to hold on so tightly and try to figure out what's coming. For some of you, you've been watching or even getting personal readings when it comes to tarot oracle cards, trying to figure out what's next, and you're getting conflicting information, and that's because you're not meant to know. That came in. That's very specific, but that just came in. Let's take a look at these three. Voyage, I am safe and loved no matter where I am. Again, no matter what, you are safe, you are loved, you are taken care of. You are able to take care of yourself as well. Opening, I am open to receiving the gifts of the universe. Can you trust that what is trying to come in for you is going to be the right thing for you? That it's going to be what you wish for, and maybe even more. But that it may look a little bit different, even if it's just the time frame is going to be a little bit different. Faith, my life is divinely guided. Again, can you trust that you are being divinely guided? That can you have faith and optimism in what's yet to come? Can you relax a little bit and allow life to unfold without you trying to control in which way? Abundance. All is mental. Blessings, evolving, living in gratitude. You're in alignment. Law of attraction. This is saying you are exactly where you are meant to be. Even though it doesn't feel like things are moving in the way that you want it to, even though progress is not happening, even though it feels like you are in unknown territory, even though you can't see behind you or right in front of you at this time, you are where you are meant to be. For some of you working with Hermetics or the spiritual law that all is mental, You can look it up, Hermetics or Spiritual Laws, the 7 spiritual laws, or you can look up Spiritual Law, All is Mental. And it's going to, I think for many of you, it's going to be very helpful if you are not already familiar with that. So that is something that I would highly suggest that's coming in for some of you. Take it as it resonates. But there is abundance coming in, and you are in alignment. And this does have to do with the law of attraction, because for some of you, and the all is mental law basically says that what we perceive, it's all in the mind, and what we perceive is due to how we think and how we perceive the world. It's more complicated than that. So that's not to say that you're going to be out and something bad is going to happen and it was your fault. I would never say that. But that is to say that sometimes we just have to be able to look at what our expectations are. Because this one even said here, if we go back here, it said, I am patient with myself and the process of exploring the labyrinth of my mind. So there is something here around your mind and what your mind is creating. And all is mental is basically, as within, so without. And that is what you are being asked to explore, look more into, trust more. And there's something in that teaching that I think will be very helpful to this pile. But I believe I'm trying to think. I believe it's definitely one of the 7 laws. I believe it's like number 5 usually, the way it's presented. But look that up if you feel like you need to. But there's a lot of blessings coming in, and you are where you are meant to be. You are in alignment with your higher self, even though it doesn't feel that way. Meaning that this kind of feeling of doubt and feeling of I'm in limbo, because that's kind of what I'm getting, limbo. It was meant to happen. Hummingbird medicine, ascension, warrior spirit, synchronicity, ancestor messages. There's a lot of synchronicity that's getting ready to unfold. And that's kind of why you have to surrender, so that you can see what's getting ready to unfold for you. But most of you are definitely going through an ascension and awakening, and that's why things feel so uncomfortable and so unknown right now. Let's see here what animals we have. I picked 2 animals for this pile. We have Ladybug. This is a time of good fortune and abundance, so be willing to receive all good things in your life. Yeah, you're being asked to work with your divine feminine, to be more receptive. Like I said, for this pile, many of you operate from the divine masculine, the masculine from within. Peacock, let yourself stand out and be noticed. There are things that are trying to come in for you. There's a need to be vulnerable in order to allow them to come in. And there's a need to be yourself in order to allow them to come in. And this has to do with your purpose for many of you and with something that you are passionate about. But it's just slight tweaking is what I keep getting. Let's take a look at this. What else could this mean? There are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. Look at a situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask, what else could this mean? Is there something your soul is calling you to learn in this moment, or is there a pattern that is ready to be broken? Walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? That's perfect. I don't see these before you do, but that's absolutely perfect. There's something with the mind. There's something with the perception for this group that these goddesses are trying to help you with. And as soon as that shifts, I feel like there will be more action that will be happening. And then we have, am I on the right path? Sometimes we second guess what we are doing. We lose trust in the process and question if we are even on the right path at all. Wow. And you just received that, says you're in alignment. I feel like this is the energy that you're currently in. Know this, you are on the right path. Keep going, keep believing, keep remembering that you made a soul contract that you are currently fulfilling in every area of your life. Even if you can't see it, that doesn't mean it's not real. Today's soul action. Today, search for all the ways you are aligned with your soul's purpose. The signs will appear. Let this newfound trust fuel your next steps. All right, pile number 2. What did I say at the beginning? Don't give up. Keep going. Even if you have to make a slight course correction, this is about keep going. Keep moving forward. This has to do with purpose. We keep seeing that coming in. Things are changing. Things are shifting. There is stability and abundance coming in, but there's something about the mind and the perception. All is mental. For many of you, if you feel called to look up the Hermetics or the 7 spiritual laws, especially the law around all is mental, because there's information there for you that's going to help you tweak things slightly. And both of these goddesses are here to help you with this. I personally, I have to be honest, I'm not very familiar with either of them. I've never worked with either of them, but there's a lot of information online that we can find. But you are in alignment. Let's take a look at the astrology here. Second house, owning. This is about worth. This is about, sometimes when we talk about the second house, it's about ultimately worth. It can be about money. It can be about owning things, but ultimately it's about our own worth and what we feel we are worthy of, I should say. And this is about you connecting with your own worth, owning your truth, owning your authenticity. And for many of you, this has to do with, again, career, job, finances. Again, for a few of you, this could even have to do with a home that you want to purchase. North Node, life's purpose. This is absolutely about purpose. Pile number 2. Taurus, I have. So now we have Taurus, I have, and the second house, and Taurus rules the second house. So this is about what you have, who you are, your self-worth as a person, what you feel worthy of, what you are calling in because of how you feel worthy. Look at where Taurus is at. Look at where Venus is at in your natal chart and in your transits. Look at where your North Node is at. For some of you, you could have a North Node in Taurus or a North Node in the second house. Some of you could have Venus in the second house as well, or Pluto in the second house, which would require a lot of transformation. You could also be a Taurus rising. Let's see what blessings are coming in your way. A blessing to lift sadness. I love this because we had that rain there too. So maybe some of you are really just feeling down in the dumps and sad, especially because for some of you, you can't really see what's happening or what's coming your way, and you're not used to that. A blessing on your day. That's a beautiful blessing because this is kind of just saying, making your day go by a lot smoother, making sure that things are flowing more. And I do feel like that's part of the changes that are coming your way. And a blessing on the children. This, for some of you, is connecting to your inner child. If you're looking to have a child, that blessing on the children could definitely be Spirit, the goddesses, blessing you with a pregnancy, with a, adoption pregnancy, a child. But I feel like for many of you, this is just blessing you with your purpose, the things that you are passionate about, the things that bring you joy. And I picked this last card as to, ultimately, what are these two goddesses helping you with? What is the end goal here, if you will, of this connection? The Sun, and this is the Zoria. I probably butchered that. Be gentle with me if I did. And that's from the Goddess Tarot deck. But the sun here, this is about you. The sun is Leo energy, right? And that's all about purpose. The sun is about, our purpose. The blessing here, what's going to be coming your way, the end goal of this relationship is to put you on your purpose, on the path to your purpose. And for many of you, you already are, but this is taking you deeper. This is going to bring for some of you, actual results, tangible results. There's a lot of abundance coming in for this pile, but also happiness. And there's also clarity coming in, because I feel like for many of you, you're kind of in darkness. You can't really see. And this is, what does the sun do? It illuminates. So things will be illuminated for you, pile number 2. You were attracted to the Celestite, so for some of you, definitely work with the angels. Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Michael came in very strongly for this pile. All right, pile number 2, that is all I have for you. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post next. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you chose the Amethyst Flower. I don't know if it's a flower petal, you know what I mean. As a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. And we are looking at which goddess or goddesses are ready to work with you. And we're going to do things a little differently this time. We're going to start with the oracle cards to see the goddesses that came up for you. Then we're going to go into tarot and more oracle cards. So first goddess is Shakti, energetic shift. And it says, I am dynamic and powerful. My mindset creates my reality. I do love Shakti, pile number 3. And then we have Hecate, solitude. And it says, simplify your thoughts, give yourself space. Not everything needs to be done right now. So, very interesting. I was speaking to a close friend right before I started recording this, and I sent her the picture and I said, pick your pile. And she picked this pile, and wow, that's perfect. So that's why I'm kind of taking a moment here to take it all in, because I love how the cards work. I don't see them before you do. But let's jump right into the reading. So there are things shifting for this pile. I feel Hecate is actually calling to about half of you, and about the other half of you are being called by Shakti. I didn't necessarily get that for every single pile. This is the only pile I've gotten that for, where it's kind of, instead of working with both, I feel some of you will feel very strongly towards one or the other. But there's definitely an energy here of things are shifting. You want to create change. Some of you are fed up with the way things have been going. Some of you are ready for action, for movement, for growth. And these goddesses are here to, it's very interesting, because it's almost saying, I know you want to speed things up. I know you want to get things moving, and I get that. But they're also saying we need to take a break, because we need to kind of regroup, if you will. We need to realize where we are at internally. Because, when we talk about high magic, and you can look up this form of magic if you feel called to, we are talking about the ability to create, right? Our internal landscape will oftentimes color our external world. So way back when people were practicing high and low magic, and I know not everybody is a fan of Crowley, but there was this, high magic was all about, let me transform internally, that way my external world can transform as well. And if we are honest, that was not possible for everyone. That was a very, privileged type of magic to practice, because in order to be able to have the time to transform your internal landscape, you have to be able to have the basics provided for you. But that's what I'm getting, this sense of almost high magic, where it's kind of saying, let's reconnect. Let's figure out, where are we at mentally? How can we create space? Because for some of you, you are so close to the situation, and that's always the case. We are always going to be very close, very involved with our situation. So much so that it's hard to even come up with a different approach. So this is kind of saying, how can we go into solitude, into hermit mode? How can we shift the energies? How can we shift our internal world, our thought process, our belief systems, our core beliefs? Because you can try all you want to do magic, to manifest, $1 million, to manifest a home, a job, a relationship. But if there are core beliefs there that do not truly believe that you either deserve it or that it can come in, that energy is going to be, it's going to create that push and pull. It's going to create chaos in your manifestation. And this is kind of saying, we need to ground the energy. You need to ground into yourself. You need to shift your energy so that you can manifest, that you can create the things that you want. Not from a place of desperation. Not from a place of, I have to. Not from a place of, not even exactly knowing what you want. Because for some of you, it is coming in that you're manifesting from a place of, this is what I think I should be doing. So this is about realigning internally so that the external can show up. And this is a reminder that not everything needs to be done right away. That you can take one step at a time. That you don't have to know that, you don't have to know what step S is before you get to step A. That you can go from A to B, B to C, C to D, and you can figure it out as you go. Let's look at the tarot cards here and see what we have. The Hierophant. And what is the Hierophant all about? The stories we tell ourselves. The belief systems, right? Equilibrium. And this is the Two of Swords. Daughter of Earth, which is the Page of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles. I'm loving this reading, pile number 3, and Two of Swords. I just realized we have the Two of Air, Two of Swords twice. You have the Two of Swords twice. Pile number 3, some of you are struggling which way to go. You are trying to figure out, do I go left? Do I go right? Do I go back? Do I go forward? Where do I go? And there's almost a sense of, I want to know what the right move is. I want to know what the right choice is. I need to figure out how this is going to play out. I need to know. I'm not comfortable in the unknown. And for some of you, you are refusing to make a move because you are so afraid of making the wrong move. And Hecate and Shakti are here to say, we have to move forward. We have to make a move, any move, because you won't know what is right or what is wrong unless you take a step. And there's also a myth here with Hecate and Shakti that they're coming in to say there is no right or wrong. Whatever path you take is going to lead you to where you're meant to be. And we're going to make sure of that. We're going to help you. Hecate helping you through that threshold from the unknown into more of what is known. And you are being reminded again. I have to stress this point because this is coming in strongly. There is no right choice. You can always course correct. There's procrastination here. There's anxiety about doing the wrong thing, about failing, taking the wrong step, ending up in the wrong place. So you're being asked to be very patient with yourself as you do this. But what needs to happen right now is, in order to get to your 10 of Pentacles, you need to make some decisions. You need to make some moves. And what Shakti and Hecate is saying is, for most of you, obviously different situations for different people, but for most of you, you are in a place in your life where you can slow down, do some digging, right? Some inner work. Look at what belief systems are in place. Look at your core beliefs around what you want and who you think you are. And then you can start to take the steps, and then you can reach your 10 of Pentacles. But you're going to have to take things slow. We have the Page of Pentacles here, the daughter of Earth. She's the slowest moving page. She takes her time. She approaches things carefully because she knows the importance of taking her time. And you're being asked to be patient with yourself. Look at this. Not everything needs to be done right now. You don't need to know exactly how it's going to end up, how it's going to play out. Let's look at what else we have here. Knowledge. This is Archangel Raphael with knowledge. Connections, Archangel Raphael. All right, yeah. And Archangel Gabriel with innocence. All right, some of you are seeking knowledge. Some of you want the answer so bad that you're kind of in analysis paralysis right now. You're not moving either which way because you want to know the right answer. You want to know all the answers. And we gain answers when we gain experience, pile number 3. So this is saying, yes, it's important to get to know ourselves, get to know where we're going, where we want to go, get to know our internal landscape and what we expect, what we truly believe, what we think is possible, what we want to create. But it's also important to remember that we must take action because we won't have all the answers. We gain knowledge through experience. And this is about making connections as well around what you believe and what has been manifesting in your life. How are your beliefs coloring what you are receiving in your life? And this is also about connecting to spirit. And for some of you, it's about going back to basics in order to figure out exactly, what purpose is. And sometimes we think that purpose is this grand thing that we're here to do. And in my experience, purpose has been something that shows up in our everyday life. It's, love, trust, compassion. It's not necessarily running a business, starting a business. Right now in the landscape that we're in, everybody's an entrepreneur. Everybody needs to reach for the stars. Purpose is so much more than that, pile number 3. Let's see what else we have here. Princess, you can be your own knight. Absolutely, pile number 3. Some of you, if you're waiting for someone to come in and give you the answers or someone to come in and save you, this is saying you are your own knight. You are your own saving grace. You're going to get this done on your own. Does that mean that you're not going to have connections? Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. But it does mean that you already know what to do and you can do this for yourself. Of course, you can always ask for help along the way. That's why we are social creatures. But ultimately, pile number 3, you can do this for yourself. I know some of you like to come for me. Evil Queen, you deserve sugar, not salt. Again, what do you think you deserve? There's a lot internally that needs to be kind of explored, if you will. And there's also a need to simplify things. I think this pile tends to overcomplicate, to overthink things. What do you want? If you want to buy a house, what's the first step, right? How do you go from, I want to buy a house, what's the first step? Well, maybe I need to save up, or maybe I need to look at houses, right? Like, find the first step and do that. Simplify it one thing at a time. You don't have to think that, you want to buy a house and then you have to figure out every single thing before you get to that. You do one thing at a time. Sundress, do it for you. Whatever it is that you're doing at this time, do it for you. You deserve this. For this group, there's really an emphasis on you are your own knight. You are your own savior. You are who you've been waiting for. I feel like that's like a Disney song for some reason. Believe the best is yet to come. For some of you, there's a need to have faith, hope, optimism. Believe in believe that things are meant for you. For some of you, you're trying to create something, but you don't believe that you actually deserve it or that you can actually have it. You don't believe that this 10 of Pentacles is meant for you. So you're kind of just spinning wheels. Embracing. I embrace and love all of my life. How can you embrace yourself where you are at? How can you slow down and still embrace every single moment? It's not about the end goal. It's about the journey to get there. Light. My light radiates through my life and the world around me. For some of you, you are meant to share something with this world. And for some of you, it's just sharing who you truly are. Because I do feel some of you are, have been hiding who you truly are. Because there's so much anxiety over what comes next. Am I doing the right thing? Am I good at this? Am I bad at this? What am I doing? Let's take a look at these two. Bruja, which is witch, alchemy, authenticity again. It's about being authentic. Copal intuition, mystic, ancestral wisdom, strong aura, sacred smoke. For some of you, taking up a practice in witchcraft would be very helpful, especially with Hecate. And remember, Hecate is also a triple goddess, so maiden, mother, crone aspects to her. And then we have divination, connection to source, esoteric knowledge, occult, seeing beyond the veil, accessing the Akash. And for some of you, you're very good, you're very intuitive. You're very good at reading tarot, oracle cards. Some of you could be mediums. And there is a need for some of you to have some sort of a belief in a higher power, whatever that higher power is for you. For some people, it is God. For other people, it's the goddess. For other people, it's higher self, universe, source, oneness, whatever that is. But there is a need to kind of disconnect from self and connect to something much, much bigger than yourself. Because for this pile, you can get really lost in overthinking. And alchemy, spiritual alchemy for this group would be very helpful. Understanding, how to transform and transmute. Because for many of you, you're transforming a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. Some of you, definitely some trauma from the past. Let's take a look at the two animals that we have here for you. Wolverine, you are a lot tougher than what you think. Absolutely, pile number 3. You are so much stronger than what you give yourself credit for. Snow leopard, take some time out of your usual life and spend it in solitude. This is the second card we have about solitude. The Hecate card says solitude on it. For some of you, you need a break. You're trying to think yourself out of a situation and you're kind of spinning your wheels without taking action. You're overthinking it. Take a break to ground and center yourself. Let's see what we have here with these two cards. How does my body want to move today? And it says, when we move, we change our state and raise our vibration. This new elevated state becomes a channel for more energy. Are you moving your body daily? Are you passionate about it? Is it time to try something new? Today's soul action. How does your body want to move today? Listen and joyfully do. Again, action. Some of you are overthinking. Some of you are in analysis paralysis. And for some of you, this is just about also exercising, working out that nervous, jittery, restless energy that you have within you so that you can move through the things that you have to do. Look at where your Mars is at for some of you, because that can help you figure out how to work out. How can I be more kind to myself and offer more grace in this very moment? Yeah, you're very hard on yourselves, pile number 3. Growing our self-love is medicine to this world's broken heart. When you heal, we all heal. When you give yourself more grace, you are able to give the world more grace. Today's soul action. Look at yourself with a grace filter. You are meant to be in this moment of your life. Release the inner critic and fill in that hole with your soul's truth, that you are infinite and that you are loved and that you are already there. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself as far as to where you need to go. Let's look at the astrology cards first. Scorpio, I transform. For a lot of you, alchemy again, transforming, transmuting energy. Look at where your Scorpio Pluto is at. Uranus, genius. For some of you, you're so intelligent, but it's kind of playing against you a bit, respectfully speaking, because you're overthinking. You're trying to have all the answers before you make a move. And in reality, you need to make a move before you have the answers. Don't be afraid to think outside of the box and do things differently. Sometimes when we sit there and we research what other people have done or what's possible, we're only looking at what was possible for other people. For many of you, you're very innovative and you're here to do things differently. And then we have lunar eclipse, change. Yeah, there's a lot of transformation and change happening for this pile. For some of you, working with the moon, because we do have Hecate here, working with the moon and doing some moon rituals would be very helpful. Or at the very least, just kind of doing some journaling around like the full and new moon at the very least, but also waning moon is what I'm getting. And let's take a look at the blessings coming in for you. A blessing to bring prosperity. Look at those apples. There's definitely prosperity coming in for this pile. Things will be picking up. There's going to be more stability coming in as well. But you need to take that break first. You need to be kind to yourself. Slow it down so that things can finally pick up and change. A blessing on your wisdom. You will be gaining a lot of wisdom. There's also protection here because that wolf is standing out to me. You will be gaining more wisdom and you're going to realize that your perception about something, about how the universe works in some way, was just a bit off. And that's going to be very life-changing for this pile. A blessing on your boundaries. Some of you will be setting boundaries. You will be able to set better boundaries, not only with other people, but with yourself. Because I feel like for this pile, there's a need to set some boundaries with yourself as well. When do I go to sleep? How much am I going to go down this rabbit hole and research this before I decide that I've had enough? What am I eating? What am I intaking? Am I moving my body? This is about boundaries with self, others as well, but definitely with self first and foremost. And this card I picked as kind of the end goal of working with these goddesses. What's going to happen here? What's end goal is the best I can think of right now. Pile number 3. Let's see. Transformation. I am trying to I don't think I am going to say it because if I say it, you guys are going to be mad at me. But this is from the Goddess Tarot. If you want to look up this goddess, please feel free to do so. I don't want to butcher the name. But this is Transformation, which is 13, which is the Death card. And that's exactly what we keep having, right? Because we had Scorpio here transform. And we've had this talk of transformation, of things changing. But for this pile, it's going to be an internal change that's then going to present itself outside of you. There's a lot of transformation. Again, for many of you, it's going to be one or the other. Like half of you are probably going to be called towards Hecate. The other half is probably going to be Shakti. For some of you, it will be both of them. Take it as it resonates. But pile number 3, that is all I have for you. I hope this reading resonated. I hope it was helpful to you. Please let me know what you thought in the comment section below. And if you have suggestions for future videos, please leave that there as well. But don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And also, if you want to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.